Hello and welcome to episode 8 of Adamola Bookman Injury Time. My name's Al Bond and I'm joined by my co-host, Johnny Coughlin. Hi, Johnny.
Hey, Al, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you, fella. This week, we are doing a countdown of footballing rappers.
Yeah, this is a topic that we're both very comfortable in, I suspect.
Absolutely, I've got the vocabulary. I'm not going to get myself in trouble with this at all. Not at all.
Good ball there for Barnes. Now can he take Leandro? John Barnes now. Might go all the way for England. Barnes. He scored! And England amazingly are into the league.
So you would be astonished how many footballers there are that rap out there, Johnny. And when we say rap, this is a broad church. Rap and hip hop is pretty much the same thing, but we're also including like reggaeton stars and stuff. That it's a wide variety.
So my understanding is that rap is the actual vocal part, saying things over a beat, and hip hop is a genre of music. So hip hop and reggaeton are not the same, but they both feature rap. That's my understanding.
Yeah, okay. All right. So, yeah, please don't write in to complain. It's a broad church. We're just like upbeat, dancey music. That's what we're going for here.
How many languages are we? I think there's quite a few here. We've got at least, there's two, there's Dutch, there's English, and Spanish. So,
Yeah.
Broad church, as you say. Okay, when we talked about music before, it kind of fell into a kind of a logical order, just on the basis of where these English players charted in the English charts. But this is a bit trickier here now in the age of streaming. What were you saying? You said before about how they come up with the charts now.
I think it's weighted. Like, I think the charts sort of take into consideration how many streamings, how many YouTube views, how many digital copies, and if physical copies are still released, how many, and they take like they have different weightings. So like one digital download equals 500 streamings. I don't know what the numbers are, Johnny. I'm just pulling this out my arse, but I think that's how it is. And believe you me, our list is going to be a good deal less scientific than that.
Isn't there like a weird way is it in cricket, how they determine a win in the case of a draw or something like that? So that's how it's a similar thing for the charts.
Oh, you want to employ the Duckworth-Lewis method?
Yeah,
Happy to do it.
That's how they do the charts now. The Duckworth-Lewis method. Okay, yeah.
A combination of words so incomprehensible to me, like even someone who has a vague understanding of cricket, like, yeah, it involves what? It's really scientific, the old Duckworth-Lewis.
But the other complicating factor we have is that these are all brought out in different countries, really. So it's hard to compare that as well. But anyway, we forge on, and we will, I guess, in the end, come up with a fairly arbitrary list. I think...
Yeah, we're going on like streaming views and vibes, basically, aren't we, Johnny?
But we're excluding poor old John Barnes because his song was a theme song, the England 1990 song. So he's disqualified.
Well, it's astonishing. You look up footballing rappers and he is the number one. And really, what was it? John Barnes has spent about 25 seconds of his life rapping. And pretty much now, in the modern understanding, he's more famous for that than he was for being arguably the greatest Liverpool player ever. So well done, everyone there.
It's confusing, isn't it, Al? Some of these guys, they play football under one name, but then they perform rap and reggaeton in other names. So this might put our middle-aged heads in a spin.
Yeah, it is very confusing how they have different names. So let's start off with a boy, Ryan Babel, erstwhile Liverpool winger, Turkish Football League botherer. I've already asked you this, Johnny. He's got no less than 4 Turkish Super League clubs to his name, old Ryan Babel, which really does sound right, doesn't it? And he goes under the name of Rio.
Bit of a slap in the face for Ferdinand, should he ever want to go down that line.
What would Rio Ferdinand's rap name be? Ballon d'Or, Ballon d'Or. Anyway, okay, so yeah, Ryan Babel goes by Rio, and there was quite a lot of publicity about it. He released an album, The Autobiography, which is fairly portentous. I concentrated on one song, Young Champ. So The name's in English, but the rapping is in Dutch. Once upon a time, a French football team played an international in Iceland in the late 90s. The classic French team, your Desailly's, your Zidane's, your Thierry Henry's. The local Icelandic singers started singing La Marseillaise, the French national anthem. The whole team just absolutely collapsed into laughter. They just couldn't stop laughing because his accent was so ludicrous. Now, my question to you, Johnny, is were I to play some Ryan Babel rapping to, for example, the Wu-Tang Clan, would they be laughing away at his Dutch, like, got to buy a blonde, it just sounds inherently quite funny to me. And I know I don't know what word I'm being here, but I know it's a bad word. But it just sounds so silly. He's just rapping away. And it's just, you can't rap in Dutch, mate. You can't rap in Dutch. It just sounds silly. It sounds like you're clearing your throat. What do you think, Johnny?
Yeah, it's not the easiest on the ear, is it, Dutch? Like, French rap is nice because French is inherently nice to the ear. Dutch is not so good.
Wasn't there a point like where like Northern Europeans like suddenly just thought like, you know, up in Russia or as you say, Dutch people or just thought, oh, this sounds terrible. Like let's do a complete reset. Let's soften our vowels, soften our consonants. This is awful. Listen to the French lads. They sound lovely. His Dutch rapping, the weirdness is exacerbated because in this video there's a beautiful woman walking around an expensive house. She kind of looks like she's just had sex because she has that sort of like after sex shirt on, you know, she's put on the guy's shirt. She's walking around the house and she puts on a record and it is Young Champ by Ryan Babel. But then she starts lip syncing to the song. So this funny Dutch rap is coming out of this sexy lady's mouth and gives it a very weird effect indeed. It's an odd video. It has a whiff of a David Brent, If You Don't Know Me By Now video.
The song is 4 minutes long, but there's no music for the first minute. It's just Ryan Babel on an exercise bike having a conversation with his friend in Dutch. So, yeah, I can't make really head nor tail of this. Is he training? He's at training and she's in his big house. Is that what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, what's he talking about on his exercise bike? It's just, oh, there's a sexy lady in my house. I hope she doesn't pick up my record and just start rapping to it.
Yeah.
Because I've got the cameras on and I'll catch it if she does.
It's a polished video. Like, this is not... If you saw any other, you know, big legitimate artist with this kind of video, you would say, yeah, that doesn't look out of place or whatever.
No, absolutely right. If someone said to me, like, this is the best Dutch hip hopper in the world, he's a genius, I'd be like, that's what it's called, right? I'd be like, yeah, he is the best Dutch hip hopper. Well done. Carry on. So, yeah. It's decent enough, apart from the lady.
But that wouldn't do it for me now. That song is pretty rubbish in my mind. But like, you know, I can't claim to be any authority on rap, but not really for me. But okay, that's Ryan Babel. By the end of this, there are a couple of players who've had significant enough success in the world of rap. But okay, who have you got next?
Oh, well, next, this is what I've been looking forward to. Again, like rap is as I say, a broad church, and not necessarily a lot of rapping here, but just he's a fun character to talk about. Asamoah Gyan. Asamoah Gyan, he's involved in at least one song, African Girls. Castro, featuring Baby Jet. Baby Jet is Asamoah Gyan's nom de plume. This has 3.8 million views on YouTube, so yeah, big star.
It's not insignificant, is it? And just on the name, like, Baby Jet, that is bad, isn't it?
It's absolutely disgusting. It's just I don't want to have to think about a baby and a jet in the same sentence. And believe you me, look at Asamoah Gyan's face. It's something dirty. The man is absolutely ridiculous. Can I throw out my quick Craig Bellamy anecdote here?
Go for it.
So yeah, for 2 years, I worked at Craig Bellamy Soccer Foundation, Football Foundation in Sierra Leone, Africa. And like, all the students, they had to have a smart haircut. And that was like one of the things you really had to stay on them because believe you me, they'd just be edging away. They'd like get their little razor blades and they'd just be carving in little things. And so they all had smart haircuts. That was the rule. And then at the World Cup, Asamoah Gyan turned up and he had like 13 etched onto both sides of his head and then died. It's like, oh, bloody hell, like. And he had a circle around it as well. And all the kids were like, that is cool. It's like, that is not cool. That is awful. And no, you can't do that with your football numbers. You can't do that, no. But he made my life very difficult.
No retreat, no surrender. Linda, Barbara, Monica, Jessica, Pamela, Sarah, Gift in a diner. Mudina, come on, Muyogo, out. Asamoah Gyan, Muyogo, out. Baby, baby, you they make my mind is cut down. Ghana girl, come on,
Sticking with that topic, Al, did any of your players go on to success?
Yeah, Mustafa Bundu is plying his trade at Plymouth. Unfortunately, he got relegated, but he scored a few goals at the end of the season.
Did he play in Europe? Did you tell me that before?
Yeah, he did. He played for Anderlecht and he played for Aarhus in Denmark.
As in, but like when he was at Anderlecht, were they in like the Champions League or anything like that?
Yeah, they were, but he was mainly on the bench. I think he went there under Bellamy when Bellamy was assistant to Vincent Kompany. So I think he got in there that. But he was a decent player. Back then, honestly, Johnny, I thought he was going to play for Barcelona. He was so good. He just rang rings around everyone else. But yeah, it's a competitive field out there.
Well, good for him, man. He's there in the south coast of England making money from playing football. Good for him. That's bloody magic.
No, lovely lad. Yeah, so here's some fun Asamoah Gyan facts. He made his debut for Sunderland. He came off for Danny Welbeck. Isn't that nuts? Asamoah Gyan, he seemed like a player from hundreds of years ago. But on his debut for Sunderland, yeah, he came on for Danny. I mean, Danny Welbeck was a young player on loan at Sunderland at that time, but it's funny their paths crossed.
You know, there's a Manchester United kind of skills video from 20 years ago, and Danny Welbeck's in it as a kid, you know, as like an 8-year-old or something like that.
Well, those lovely skills videos. More fun facts about Asamoah Gyan. He played at SIPG Shanghai, that port, and he was on £250,000 a week. I'm very surprised at that, Sunderland, because he was so shit. He turned his hand to boxing promotion in 2012. Can you guess the name of his boxing promotion company?
Baby Jet Boxing Promotions.
You've absolutely nailed it, Johnny. Well done indeed. He also received an air carrier's license from the Ghanaian authorities so he can start his own airlines one day. Do you know what the name is registered under?
Baby Jets?
Baby Jet Airlines, yep.
You know, like it is a theme in these songs. It happens with a couple of them. One of them later on, where like there's a whole legitimate song going around, and then it all has to come down to a certain level for the footballer to come in and start rapping extremely slow rap. You know that. You know, I don't want to sell myself as a rapper here, but I'm fairly certain I could do it if you gave me a day of practice. You know.
I think people have fallen into that trap before. Yeah, absolutely ludicrous. And if you just Google Asamoah Gyan, the first picture that pops up, he looks so fucking goofy and he looks so pleased with himself. He's quite fun. Okay, Asamoah Gyan, can you guess what his autobiography was called? It's pretty strong.
Oh, is it the story of Baby Jet? No?
No, it's called Legendary. As in Asamoah Gyan, Legendary. Very nice.
Oh, so really, he has a book?
Yeah, he has a book.
Okay,
good luck on getting hold of that, brother.
Come on, we should do that. Okay, let's move on because I'm worried about time. Sticking with the Dutch, Memphis Depay is still playing his trade. Is he at Barcelona still?
No, Johnny, no, he's not. No, Memphis Depay is a good deal cooler than that. He's rocking it at Corinthians in Brazil, mate.
Oh, golly.
I mean,
Jesus.
Good on him. Good on him. He's still at the top of his game. He's like 30, 31. He thought, fuck it, I'll go to Brazil. I'll go and play in Brazil. And I take my hat off to him, sir.
Now that you mention, I have seen videos of him playing in Brazil, all right.
In my hypothetical football career, which happened, I spent a couple of years in Brazil. Because why not? Oh, I just love him for it. He is a proper baller, old Depay, isn't he? Like, he can really do some skills. He is one of those the streets won't forget footballers.
I'm fairly certain Memphis Depay has a pet lion. I'd say he might be a bit of a dick.
He's certainly full of himself. Well, yes, he has the word successful tattooed on his lip. Do you know what successful means? Can you guess?
Baby Jet.
No, it means successful. Also, a fun thing, which I didn't particularly pick out for old Memphis Depay is Big Christian. And apparently, him and Big Christian, yeah, Big Christian guy. Him and Cody Gakpo led Bible study group for the 2022 Dutch squad. Cody Gakpo and Memphis Depay.
You know, Cody Gakpo's kind of sideline. You know what he does with his money?
No, I don't know.
He is a slumlord. Like he has loads of properties, apparently in absolutely dreadful condition in the Netherlands. Apparently he's a total fucking scumbag, that guy.
Thank you, Jesus.
Memphis Depay, okay, let's have a listen to his song. No Love. And he's rapping under the name Memphis Depay. I guess if your name is Memphis, you don't really need. Okay, let's have a listen.
No love, weet waar ik vandaan kom, weet niet waar ik heen ga. Heb alleen maar plannen voor vacation. Nou weet ik nog alsof ik ben vergeten, nee. Ik wil snel shoppen in Caesar. Jullie weten niet eens wat ik meemaak. Monnetje is de vrouw van mijn leven. No love, no love. En die money die ik maak, die covert niks op. Ik zei die money die ik maak, die covert niks op.
Okay, this is in Dutch for one thing. But, you know, this is not my kind of thing. But if I heard that playing in the radio and didn't know it was a footballer, I would say that's just a song. Like that's a legitimate song to me. Not my thing, but
it's
fine.
legitimately shit though, isn't it? It's got a real Drake vibe. Ugh, real low energy as well. Couldn't even be bothered. At least Ashimojian's fucking jumping around, having a good time.
Yeah, that's what you
Right, that was at least got the gumption to sit on a fucking exercise bike. But yeah, the old fucking Memphis Depay slow rap. Boring.
But okay, Ryan Babel, 38,000 hits on YouTube. How many hits do you think this Memphis Depay No Love song has on YouTube?
Well, I guess it's going to be more than that. 2 million.
Times 10. 20 million hits that song has.
Baby.
Yeah. Memphis Depay. No Love from 2019. Multilingual track. This is something that a lot of them are pulling out, to be fair. He's had a few other songs since. He's got 2 Corinthians 5:7, a spiritually themed song referencing a Bible verse. There you go, Al. And he has a tribute to his current club, Corinthians, called Peta de Corinjao. He's just having a nice time. He's got 448,000 monthly listeners. Like, he's a legitimate musician. He could be making a living out of that.
Yeah, no, but he's not. He's rocking it in Brazil. I do admire him for that. I really do. That's a cool move.
You mean you admire him for the Brazil part, not for the reasonably successful musical career?
No, I don't applaud his musical career because it does remind me of Drake. I was a Drake hater long before the Kendrick Lamar feud. Believe you me, ground floor hated Drake. Just fucking put some fucking effort in, lad. Oh god.
I don't think I know one Drake song.
Oh, it's so boring, Johnny. Honestly, there's one my wife likes it. It was like, I only love my mum and my bed. It's like, yeah, you love your mum and your bed. Yeah, it sounds like it. Fucking Drake. So.
Okay. In terms of legitimate musicians, but he hasn't made it to the top of our list, which is probably going to break his heart. But do you remember Jesse Rodriguez, who played for Real Madrid?
I sort of vaguely remember him. Yes.
So he's currently a forward for Malaysian Super League club Johor Darul Tazim. But, you know, you wouldn't think that he needs to, like, he's played for Real Madrid, Paris Saint-Germain, Stoke City on loan, Sampdoria, and then like Turkish teams, a few random ones sprinkled in there. But this guy is he was a real deal, this guy. You know, he's playing for Real Madrid. He has won 2 Champions Leagues. He has won the World Cup and the Copa del Rey. Like, this is a serious footballer.
It's funny, isn't it? You're reading out all his career statistics, Johnny, and all I'm thinking is that played for Stoke. I won the World Cup, did you? Yeah, you played for Stoke, though, didn't you, mate? Which negates that. Champions League win. Oh, wet Tuesday on Stoke, nullified.
So this is reggaeton, I gather. He raps under the the name JM, JEY, and the letter M. Like, if you asked AI to make a rap video, this would be it, you know? It just starts with cars driving into a big plush house, and then the lads are just shouting at the thing, at this camera, and all these girls are just kind of like whatever cavorting around the place. And then their names are the various rappers at the start stand up, and you know their names come emblazoned on the screen. It's just fucking utter trash. But this, like, how okay, so this the last one had 20 million hits. How many do you reckon this has?
More.
Yeah.
30.
Yeah, 32 million people have listened to this fucking rubbish. Listen, have a listen. What was that one song that was really big there for a while?
Despacito.
Yeah, so serious Despacito vibes. And I guess, again, realistically, if I heard that on the radio, I wouldn't be able to say that that was just some joker footballer. Like, that doesn't sound that different to me from Despacito.
That's the secret. Pick a genre that is shit anyway, and then you can't really go back, can you? Just add another fucking level of shit into it.
Just on Despacito, how many views do you think that has now on YouTube?
Oh, like 1 billion?
8.7 billion listens on YouTube alone.
I'm responsible for half of those. Love that song. Despacito, diddly-dee.
And and that's not counting the 685 million views that the Justin Bieber version has.
Oh, there's a Bieber version.
Yeah, there is a Bieber version. By the way, what do you think has the most views on YouTube ever?
Gangnam Style. I don't know.
Gangnam was the first billion one, and I think it was the first 2 billion as well. But the one with the most hits is, of course, Baby Shark with 15 billion hits.
I mean, I genuinely am responsible for about 3 of those billion hits.
Just a couple of things about Jesse Rodriguez. He learned about the birth of his second son on social media. When the mother of the child posted it on Instagram, a subsequent DNA test was conducted. And yes, he was the father.
Nothing says romance like a DNA test.
He had more kids then later on with his partner, but they broke up, and it was an acrimonious breakup. It culminated in Ruiz taking Jessie to court, and she accused him of neglecting his duties as a father. And he responded with a countersuit against Ruiz, his partner, saying that she had slandered him. And he very responsibly only asked for €1 in damages and 3 to 5 years in prison. What a motherfucker, like. Anyway, okay, that's Jesse his Spanish reggaeton band is called Big Flow. With his close friend DJ Nuno. These DJs who grab a hold of these footballers must be just so delighted with themselves, you know?
We're gonna go for you got no talent. No, we're gonna go low. Big Flow and Baby Jet. That's gross.
But all of these 32 million, 20 million views, they are beaten by one fellow. I did good bit of research and looked time and time again to see if there was footballers in any country that have had number ones in their home country. And the one you always get is John Barnes. But as we said, we've excluded John Barnes. But then I finally found one. Benny McCarthy with a number one with Shabobo. It's sampling Final Countdown.
Good.
But is that
rhymes.
Europe? Is that Europe, is it?
It is Europe, yeah. Yeah, that's maybe the laziest sample you could possibly have, isn't it? Along with Simply the Best by Tina Turner.
A rap version of Final Countdown is not exactly my cup of tea, but that's not terrible either. But it's funny. I read so that the guys, they're called TKZ, this rap trio. One of them has since died. They're all kind of jumping around there in what's made out to be like a prison football field, covered in barbed wire and stuff. They're dressed in the South Africa football colours because this was for the 1998 World Cup, which South Africa went to. And then suddenly it cuts to a studio and Benny McCarthy is by himself rapping in the studio because he was playing for Celta Vigo. So they sent him the track to rap over. So the video is, and then there's also spliced in him doing skills, round the world and stuff like that.
Right, round the world, that's what you call it. I've never really called it that. In every footballer's rap video, there's some kiddie doing that little round the world, isn't there? Where you play keepy uppy and you catch it on your foot and then you put your ball. In every one, that's like the football trick, innit? But it's like cool, like spinning a basketball on your finger.
Do you know what Benny McCarthy is doing now?
No, I believe he's in some managerial capacity. What's he doing now, Johnny?
He's a manager of Kenya. He was at Manchester United for 2 years, under Ten Hag as a coach.
Oh, good for him.
But sorry, that song is called Shabobo. Shabobo means nutmeg. And the song is about...
Shabobo's a nutmeg.
Yeah, and it's about the Bafana Bafana, which means the boys in Zulu. This came up in a previous podcast, which of course is the nickname of the South African football team. And that became the fastest selling single ever in South Africa, selling 100,000 copies in a month.
Wow, that doesn't seem that much.
No, it doesn't seem that much, does it?
No.
No, it doesn't seem that much at all. Anyway, that's Benny McCarthy.
Yeah, so Jesse Rodriguez presumably is the guy that's made the most money. I mean, I'm just going to bring up that this man had no success with his rapping, but seemed to have a very high profile for his rapping, certainly when I was younger, and that is Clint Dempsey. But then I looked it up, really. He did like one Nike promotional track featuring EXO and Hawk, or Big Hawk, a Big Hawk. I like the name Hawk, but it doesn't really give this sense of scale. Big Hawk, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty lame. It's a bit like, that Lose Yourself Eminem song, the one where it's meant to be that, but it's not nearly as good. But it's Clint driving around in an impoverished area and kids dancing around the street. Adjacent, and this is not really rap, but it's like a rap beef. Famously, Shakira was married to Gerard Piqué for many, many years, 10 years plus, right? He became a huge influence. Now, Gerard Piqué, the swine, left Shakira for a woman half her age, 22-year-old. So Shakira released a revenge track, a diss track about Gerard Piqué. Now, from what I can make out, this track is called BZRP Music Section Volume 53, which is not very catchy. But this was the most watched new song ever in YouTube history.
Wow.
And she won Best Song at the 2023 Latin Grammys. And some of the lyrics were, well, translated, I'm worth two 22-year-olds, and you swapped a Ferrari for a Twingo. Anyway, but the point being, so she released this record, the most watched new song on YouTube history. It won Best Song of the 2023 Latin Grammys. And who presented her with the award? Sergio Ramos. Lovely stuff. Sergio Ramos, come up. There's your award for your song, dissing about this dickhead from Barcelona. Yeah, that's the next level.
Pretty funny that Ramos agreed to do that, isn't it?
Oh, I think it's a jolly fun move by him, isn't it? Absolutely. Well done. Of course I will.
Okay, so tell me, what was your favorite of those tracks and what was the worst of those tracks?
Okay, my favourite of those tracks is the ludicrous fig of it is Asamoah Gyan, African Girls, Castro, featuring Baby Jet. Just because it's high energy, Johnny. I'm not going to reward Memphis Depay for his low energy Drake-alike shit. So, yeah,
Yeah.
go for it. Yeah, if you want to check out a hot track,
Baby Jet.
yeah. African
But
Girls, Castro, featuring Baby Jet.
yeah, similarly, I would say it's Asamoah Gyan or the Benny McCarthy one is not too bad either. But they all have, both of those things have that thing where, you know, the other fellas are rapping away, they're spitting fire, and then it really has to slow down for the lads to kind of, their flow is a little bit slower, I think, you know?
Well, that might be fair, but at least they're giving it, like they're jumping around and
Mm.
enthusiastic, unlike your boy Depay.
Okay, well, that's it. Our foray into rap. The musical football, ooh, it's quite deep. And I think we're going to return to it again in a few weeks with some more music by such superstars as Pele, if you've ever heard of that guy.
Yeah, I've heard of him. Yeah, decent one.
Okay, and then we're back next, Al with Alfredo Di Stefano.
Yep, Di Stefano, the great Di Stefano mystery will be unveiled next week. I know he played for
by
Real Madrid. I know he scored lots of goals, and that's all I know.
by Ian Big Hawkey.
Oh, nice tie-in, Johnny. Well done.
Mm,
Look at that.
mm.
Yes. Yeah, Ian Hawkey. I don't like the sound of that man, but we'll find out. I've always had a thing about Ian's. A teenage girlfriend got off with someone called Ian whilst I was going out with him. Fucking Ian's. Wet name for wet men.
Okay, this one is dedicated to all the Ians out there. Thank you very much, Al.
Thank you, Johnny.
Beginning, we were those kids that played on the dirt fields. But with determination, we came from the bottom and rose to the top. We chased and grabbed a hold of our dreams. Now we play on the fields where the grass is green. And we can tell from the looks on their face, when they find out what the dream is we chased, they hate. But we as a team have a phrase we say when negativity comes our way: don't tread on this.
Game took hold like the roots of a tree. Think soccer ain't a sport, then why Nike sign me? Cause I got on my job and made the game ferocious. I was born with the drive.